so much for tuning in. Just want to remind you guys, coming up on Friday, 7 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock, or 7 o'clock Pacific, sorry, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Me and Des, past life readings. We got a story. We're going to tell you guys. Alright, so here's just an intuitive collective for everybody. I might come back on here in just a little bit and do a live for a little while. I just gotta wait on my food to finish cooking. And I don't like eating in front of you guys when I'm doing the lives. I'd rather have the time to eat on my side. So, but for now, I'm gonna go ahead and do a collective reading for everybody here. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. Hope everybody's looking forward to Thanksgiving. This is out of the Urban Tarot deck. So let's go ahead and call in our angels and ancestors and ask for a good reading here real fast. Oh, that was a lot. I don't need that many. Well, let's drop bombs on you guys again. It's an awful lot. Need a river card, please. A river card. I think rivers can go a long ways, but I just need one. Man, you keep wanting to put that. Alright, we're going to extend the river. Alright. So you have the Prince of Swords, and then you have the Nine of Discs, or the Nine of Wands, sorry. And then we get the Emperor, the Lovers, the Four of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Ten of Swords, and the Fool. So the Hacker in reverse. So if we're playing this on the collective side of things and how we're going to read all this out for everybody here. So the hacker is somebody that's trying to get into... A hacker is somebody that tries to get into places they don't belong, right? They're the people that hack their way in on their computers. They're the people that hack their way in on your phones to get to your bank accounts, to get into your things. Kind of like people that push their energy into places where they don't need to go. So sometimes these hackers, though... they're fortunate enough to run into people sometimes that they don't seem to understand kind of what's going on. So that's why it's the hacker in reverse and fortune in reverse, because this is somebody on the outside trying to come in, right, or force their energy in on something. But what they don't seem to understand is that the person that they're coming after actually understands what's going on. He understands what you're trying to enforce upon him, and he's not going to let anything like that. The person's not going to let things go on that they don't feel that it will help to benefit their lives, right? So if the person, whoever's trying to do this, is forcing their way in because they see something that they think that they want to see, But unfortunately, it's the other way around, because the other on the other side of it, there's four cups, the Four of Cups, which is in reverse, right? So everything that you think or see, all these illusions that you're putting out there really aren't coming true. People aren't buying into what you're seeing. They're seeing that all it's leading to is, unfortunately, it's leading to something that they're really not going to like, because even though that's luxury, but it's luxury in reverse, right? And if you look at it, it's really not luxury at all. It's kind of living in a dirty house. You got your cups spilled everywhere, your cookies spilled everywhere. You're just staring at your phone, sitting around. And it's going to lead somebody to defeat, right? Which they don't really want, because everybody gets tired of getting defeat. And then it almost leads to a little bit of ruin, because you get the 10 of Swords in the upright, right? So 10 swords coming down into your back. Defeat and ruin. So it's going to ruin your life if you decide to take this adventure for whoever this is. Right? So this person that's coming in and trying to seduce you, give you those drinks, it's going to lead to a failure, because they're never going to change the way that they are. It's just a dominating spirit. They keep only getting small fragments and pieces of it, and they want to keep you trapped inside of a cycle, rather than letting you move on so you can go find your abundance and let everything go, right? They'd rather keep your chariot whacked out, even though they know that it's probably cruel, but they're really not caring about that, because they're just dancing in front of their computers. They don't care about the fact of what they're doing to somebody else. They don't care about the fact that it probably, even though they think that they are this person, they're probably really not worthy for it. That's why the game's coming out in reverse. Because it's just not. It's not going to, the cycle that you're stuck in isn't going to work. The ideas you're trying to do isn't going to work. You're not going to bring love into your life. You're never going to see the pleasure. If you keep forcingly, you're never going to really see this pleasure, right? These ideas of this love and this pleasure you think that's coming, you think it's a great idea, and you think you're going to make it all work, but you're really stuck looking at the wrong thing. You're stuck hung up here staring at a paper, the other person's chasing something else. You're not seeing the fact that the game master sees what's going on. Not understanding that the person that, sometimes people that are moving in malice and stuff like that, you kind of turn them, if the game master turns into somebody that goes to the mage, right? So he goes from being the Knight of Swords to being the mage, to being the magician. So the Knight of Swords to a magician. So you're taking somebody that was a good fighter and everything else, now you're putting into a magician. Look, he's even got the sword right there. Look, you're painting a picture for somebody else. You're lapping your burdens onto somebody else. You're trying to take away from somebody's time in the sun because you feel your energy belongs there. And it really doesn't. You just need to go, not worry about it. Let the person go have their fun. Yeah, stop being a downer on them. Let the person go. Let their cup go get filled. The idea is right. They have the strength to do whatever they want, and they're not gonna want it anymore. The power is not right. They're not in the mood to be dominated by anybody. They're looking for happiness. They're looking for better ideas. Looking for somebody maybe that might be a little bit more fertile, because the cups that are coming in aren't really what they want right now. Tired of people interfering with their lives, casting judgment on them. Yeah, it's their life. Let them go live it. Look, there's a Hierophant in reverse. So, just watch your energy. Watch where you force it into. Don't try and break your way into people's things or people's stuff or people's energy just because you hear something or you think something, or it's just not fair to do to somebody else. Because slowly but surely you end up blocking that person off from their connection to everything else. You cause them to not find that victory that they're looking for, and then they wonder what's going on. They never get up to that seat at the table. They're always sitting there getting the finger pointed at them because they're always in strife. They're never able to really go shine because everybody's trying to tell them what they need to go do rather than letting them have their own ideas. Sit there and trying to alchemize and control them. Place targets on their back. Place a cover over their face. Put a mask over their mask. Even do magic work, right? Try and stop their inner child from coming out. Can't do it anymore. People are going to defend and fight against it because we see it coming now. And the universe isn't going to let it happen anymore. They're going to straight up just stop you like a 3-alarm fire. Not going to let you get your valor. They're going to put you back in hangman. They're going to make sure you see justice if you keep doing it because the other people see it coming. The decision's already been made. Don't cause another tower moment for yourself or for somebody else. Yeah, that's what it's going to lead to. The tower moment. You're going to lose your spirituality again. You're going to start getting fed that bad information. Your wealth's going to start disappearing. Yeah, they're going to send you back in the fucking hermit mode. So, that one probably went a little long. I ran the whole deck on you guys. But, just got to watch what we're doing. Pay attention to everything. Be mindful of other people's energies. Yeah. It's pretty soon that Wheel of Fortune and Justice. Don't be blind to other people's fortune. Because you want to come in and try and point fingers at them. Or think that it's something else. So, have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. See you Friday.